Okay, welcome everyone to another Two Stupid Gamers video. If you saw the last one, we got to check out Zero and our buddy FocalFrank do a little bit of messing around with the practice in this, and we also wanted to do one where I would do some racing, and we got our boys here to commentate.
We're back. Hell yeah.
And just to kind of explain how this works, so iRacing is it kind of has like this main HUD where you go through all the different types of leagues. There's tons of different features that we could talk about, but we got to jump into a race real quick because we're going to do a Draftmaster race. This is a Daytona truck race. It's 20 laps, so it should run relatively fast, maybe about like 20, maybe 25 minutes. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to register for the next race, which all of these races happen kind of like on a schedule. Which, to be fair, sometimes it gets annoying, but that's just how the service is. So you'll get your 9 o'clock race, your 9:30 race, your 10 race, whatever it is. It's like cyclical. I'll kind of give you guys some basics because we're gonna have to do a little bit of waiting as we get through this. So I'll kind of point out a couple of things as the game is getting started.
Excellent. iRacing is a paid service, right, Mash?
Yes, this is a subscription-based service. You pay monthly, yearly, whatever. And also, in addition, and this gets some people sometimes, but you also have to pay for cars and tracks as well. So everything that you see here that I have, you know, it took me some time to unlock it. Some of the stuff has to be paid for, but they do give you a decent-ish amount of base cars. But yeah, you pay for the service and you also pay for tracks and cars.
That's kind of wild. Do you have anything to add there, Frank?
Racing's cool.
While we wait, Mash, again, I said this in the last video, I'm a big Gran Turismo boy. Like, you haven't used this wheel in Gran Turismo yet, have you?
No, so this is a PS5/PC wheel. It can be used with console, but the thing is that to use this with console, from what I understand, I would also need Fanatec pedals, which I don't have. Now, that being said, I haven't tried it yet, so there is still hope for that, but I'm so, like, engrossed in iRacing that I really haven't even gone back to Gran Turismo in, like, at least over 2 years at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of it, especially a lot of the tracks in Gran Turismo. They're not all real, but that's what kind of makes it fun. Like, getting a realistic car, because they only use real cars in Gran Turismo, and also a realistic steering wheel on a fake track that you can't actually race in real life is kind of a dream for me. I really want to try that, so hopefully one day we'll be able to pull it off. Mash was saying he has a Fanatec race wheel, but his shift gear and the pedals are Draftmasters.
Yeah, they're a different brand. Now, what I've been told is that having different brands means they won't work on console mixed together. If I had both Fanatec, there would be no issue. That's what I was told. I haven't had a chance to really test it out because, like I said, I mostly play iRacing. I said 2 years. I've only been playing iRacing for about a year now, but before that I was doing a lot of Assetto Corsa, and I honestly, unfortunately, kind of just dropped Gran Turismo. Like, it's not that I don't want to play it or I don't like it, but I've kind of just moved on to this stuff, and I don't know when I'll be testing that. I will do it at some point, and we'll mention that in a video as well. So we're in like a pre-race. We're in like a pre-race practice mode. That's why there's nobody here. Everybody's kind of hopping out now because, as the screen is telling you, it's time to start the race. If I don't do this, it'll just pull me in automatically. So you basically get into like initial lobby. You can do free practice. It doesn't affect any of your scores or stuff. Then you have to join the actual race itself. And it goes practice, qualifying, and then the actual race itself. That's how this works. All of that counts for your score. And this is where iRacers like myself get really teed off sometimes, because you'll get bumped in practice, or you'll just spin out in practice, or not have the best qualifying. And all of that counts, even if it's before the actual race itself versus your safety rating. Right now, I'm sitting at 3.94 oval safety rating. If I get it to 4 on the dot, I level up and I have more races that I can do. That's what I want to do. I want to be Class B. Right now, I'm Class C, but it all really depends on what I can do here. So we're gonna do a scheduled practice. This counts for safety rating, so I could just get a little bit of points. Basically, every time you take a turn, every time you take a turn on the track and there's no incident, it like builds up how much safety rating you're going to get for the race. But if you get incidents, it's going to take away.
See, that's what I found interesting too, because it's not just you have to control your car, don't spin out, go the right speed. It's you have to like watch out for other players. With that incident thing you were saying, there's many things you have to pay attention to while you're going 150 miles an hour. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, in all honesty, just listening and controlling your car is tough enough. Dodging idiots on the racetrack, that's just an extra layer of complexity that I'm not ready for.
Yeah. And I can say for a fact, the same people that drive on iRacing are the same people that drive on the highways in America. Just saying, those two people cross over, those two categories of folks cross over, and it gets a little wild. The classes go from rookie all the way up to pro, so it's rookie, then D through A, and then pro. But when you start out, all you have is the rookie races, and I'm telling you, like, people don't care in those series. They drive very recklessly, and they get you involved in accidents. They get themselves involved in accidents. This what we're doing right now, I think this is class D or class C, so it's a little bit higher quality racing, race drivers, I mean. And yeah, so we just finished the first practice. I only do that because I want to get more safety rating. We're not going to do qualifying, which for those of you that don't understand, here we have everyone that's in the race. I'm the one in the green, and everyone is basically going to run laps to see who gets the fastest time by themselves. And when you get that whoever gets that fastest time to the person that's the lowest, that's the order that you start the race in. So very important, of course. I will say, because this is Daytona and you're just driving out by yourself, it's not the most interesting because it's just running laps around Daytona.
Daytona!
Yeah, we need to we're gonna put in some music over all of this.
So is that how regular NASCAR racing is, where everyone goes around the lap and then the race starts and they get put in their places?
So not only is that how NASCAR works, that's how all racing works.
Racing? Okay.
At least for the most part, I'm sure there's somewhere where they don't do qualifying like that. Maybe they have a different system, but like the general standard approach to how you get your driver starting orientation is by doing these kind of qualifying laps. You put down the time, it lists you according to how fast you did, and then you can start the race. So usually I've noticed that the people I'm playing against are getting better, so I will, like, I don't know, I'm not getting as high up as I used to, but I usually get around like 5th to maybe like 12th, something like that. Like 7 to 12 is kind of where I land. Again, you're just trying to really go as fast as you possibly can. You're trying to take like an ideal line around here. This is also called the Draftmasters series, so it's not really coming into play as much right now because it's just me by myself. But when we get a full, stacked house full of racers here, what we're gonna do is basically getting draft off the person to the front of us. Zero, I know you're a Gran Turismo boy, as you said. Do you know anything about draft and racing?
I'm assuming we're talking about basically tailgating the car in front of you and getting that sort of air corridor that allows you to basically go faster without any resistance.
Yep, bingo. So you can think about it as whenever you're moving a car forward, it's pushing through air. Air is just air, and you don't really see it being pushed, but the car has to push past it. The car that's in front is pushing the air, and it's fighting that resistance of the air, but the car behind it is in that pocket where it doesn't have to deal with air resistance. So it can go faster, and then you can kind of like constantly like push each other, basically.
It's like the car in the front is like the knife cutting through the air.
Yeah. Frank, you must be
precisely
an actual racer because you have some fantastic ways of describing some of these things.
You caught me.
all that stuff he did last video was all for show. He was just goofing around. This guy is a pro racer, all right? This guy can drive laps around Who's a famous racer, Mash?
Max Verstappen.
He means Mash the Stampede.
That's right. You get that position, Mash. I want to see speed. I want you to be speed. I want you to let these boys know who the real top dog is.
So I'm gonna try to avoid all this energy over here and just focus on the racing.
No, you need it all.
Because this is gonna make it really hard. But
I want you to smoke them like a nice brisket in the summer.
I could go for some brisket, but we're doing a parade lap right now. So the pace car, the safety car in the front, is holding all the cars back before the start of the green flag. Even though I qualified 5th, I'm actually starting from the 1, 2, 3, 3rd position. So I have to stay behind this 22nd car. You can see the number in the little bottom of it, but...
Out of curiosity, that blue car in front of you, can't you just, like, pass him?
No, because if you pass, they black flag you. So you're getting a foul, basically. This is a safety, like, kind of parade lap before the race has actually started. So you can't pass the person that's qualified in front of you, you know? I guess
I would get the black flag, no problem.
I'm
a horrible driver. I play dirty.
I guess you could see it like this, like if you were playing a soccer game and basically the one of the teams started with like already shooting a goal into your post, you know, like right as the match is starting. We have to keep this position, and that's also something that, like, to call back to what Frank was saying, it's a little weird at first to like work with other people and try to like keep this kind of order, because again, they try to keep iRacing really real. Anyway, I'm gonna stay in 2nd. The restart zone is coming up and we're green. Really good spot to be in.
Hit that gas. Mash, mash, mash. Mash the gas. That guy has filtertime.com in the back of his freaking car. It's time to filter him out of this race. Oh, number 17 is just past Mash.
It's okay. We still got 20 laps to go.
Mash, can't you just tap him on the freaking right, the left side of his car?
Boy, I sure could do that. I'm gonna tap him from the back because he's holding me up a little bit. But this is plate racing. This is oval super speedway racing. We're kind of just gonna be switching spots a lot. And even though now I'm like back in probably 5th, maybe 6th, you know, I'm still where I want to be. I'm still towards the front. Things are still going pretty well here.
Hey Hans, I'm a little confused. Where's the ball in this sport?
Wow, you used my real name. What a douche. It's okay, FocalFrank.
Hey, technically you used his real name.
I mean, that's his username, so do you want us to call you Focal or Frank? Which one?
I can redo that.
Yeah, Frank, we
Don't
generally...
Don't worry about it. We don't care. At least I don't care. Yeah, there is no ball in this game. This isn't freaking... What's that game called again? Where you have these little race cars and you hit the freaking soccer ball or whatnot?
Rocket League.
Rocket League. This isn't Rocket League, Frank. Sorry, bro.
Although they do have Rocket League... NASCAR's in Rocket League.
I will say this, though.
Yeah.
This game would be a lot more funner if it did have a ball in it. Just saying.
I'm sure
a big old beach ball.
So now I'm gonna be start to be getting like faster and faster laps. As long as I could stay up front with these guys and we're all drafting together, we're all essentially constantly pushing us to like really good lap times. Something that you wouldn't be able to do in qualifying because of all of the... Okay, I'm clear, but I'm gonna stay behind this guy. I'm gonna get bumped up. Damn. I got a pretty good run, but I'm gonna lose it on this turn because there's 3 people stacked up. I will be the first person on the second line once it starts to reform, unless someone gets in front of me. But yeah, this is Dale Earnhardt Sr. called this basically a 200-mile-per-hour chess game, is what this is. It's constant like adjustments of like, you go forward, you go back. You make the wrong move, you go back like 12 spots. You make a good move, you go, you know, like 6 or 7 spots forward. It's really intense. I like this racing because, God, it just gets the blood flowing.
It seems like a lot of micro adjusting the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Micromanaging, micro-adjusting.
Yep. Yep. And also, just so everyone watching is aware, you know, there's many different. I see people wrecking in the rearview mirror. There's many different kinds of races that you could do in iRacing. This is just one kind. I kind of have honed in on this as more of like my specialty in terms of what I like to do and what I guess I'm building skills for. But you could do road course racing. You could do lots of other stuff. To me, this is great when it's like things are going your way, and it gets a little bit intense when people kind of like wreck you or some crazy shit happens, which we might see today. Again, I'm going.
That white car looks like it was about to. There we go. I called it. I was actually going to mention earlier you were going into a turn right behind that green car, and it was really difficult to see the actual road.
Yeah.
Is that something, you know, like racers like you or anyone else should like be doing?
This is God. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Let me see if I can check my damage. Okay, so I have damage on the left side. That's it. Okay, I guess all I have is damage on the left side.
Just a love tap on the left side. You're good. I want you to mash that gas.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of, again, that's... Oh, my God.
That piece of shit, did he bump you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
gonna spin him out?
They get aggressive. No,
Don't
I'm
take
not.
That shit.
No, I'm not, because I'm going to get 4 incidents for it. But, yeah, to answer Zero's question... the wrecking. Again.
Holy hell.
Man.
Holy hell.
Oh, man.
Gonna get an off track, but I'll take it. Again, in Draftmasters, there's no cautions, so we just keep going. that would normally lead to a caution, but obviously no cautions. So yes, the green car. I was basically literally blocked. My entire view was blocked by him. That's basic in a nutshell. That's how this type of racing works. Is they get stacked up to each other because you're using the draft. So it's like your visibility disappears, but it's. Like, that's why I can't imagine doing this in real life. Like, that's insane. The amount of, like, trust you have to put into that person.
Yeah, you're using the car in the front to, like, you're, like, basically just... It's, like, hold the wheel, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're hoping that they do everything right. And also, but I do want to say, though, I've noticed one of the observations I made about racing in general is that all the race cars in the series are going to be about the same size, right? Like, same height. So, no matter who's in front of you... you're not going to be able to see in front of them because they're the same sizes. You can't see over them. So essentially, this applies to other forms of racing too. Like, you'll get into situations where the person in front of you is basically blocking your view, you know? Anyway, we're back in 5th. Just because in this series we're not doing cautions, you know, we're not gonna stack up. We just keep going. What I'm looking out for right now is I need to get behind another car so I can start using their draft to get faster. My car has a little bit of damage, but getting in the draft will overcome that.
Question. How far behind do you have to be behind a car to really get the effects of draft? Because I noticed as you were pulling into this turn, like, you were pretty much behind that black car. Were you getting the effects of draft yet, or does it dissipate after a certain distance?
It's super variable. You guys can all go online and take a look at. I'll try to put a visual of this in, but they create like 3D imaging of air passing over vehicles. So there are like spots where it's good. Like maybe right here I'm close enough and I'm like directly behind them, so it's good. But if I go a little to the right, it'll actually be what's called dirty air, and the air is gonna hit my kind of hit my car in a bad way. So there's like oh, we got another wreck.
Ooh, he's freaking flipping! God damn, you dodged that shit.
I am so good. Do you see why this...
Middle finger out the window?
Do you see why this gets the blood boiling sometimes, you know? Imagine if I didn't get through that. But yes, to answer your question, there are some parts where, like, I think about a car length or so, maybe 2 car lengths behind, you do start to get draft, but you'll realize it because it has like an attractive effect, like a magnet almost. You know, I'll get behind someone, and even if I'm kind of far away, I'll start to get a lot closer to them, just because I'm utilizing their draft. So, I don't know like the full ins and outs of that. I'm sure it gets even more complicated, but yeah. Oh man, still 10 laps to go, and it's already been a very eventful race.
Indeed, we saw a car do how many triple flips and twists into the air just like a couple seconds back?
What's more important is the amount of times we've seen Mash dodge, dive, duck, dodge, dip around.
Dive and dodge
Like,
other cars.
very impressive.
Stop, drop, and roll. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
Or like
it's a lot of
stop,
fun.
drop, and lock it. This guy's got it locked down.
Also, one more thing. This guy in front of me is 4th, and I'm 5th, so I could potentially pass him, but you kind of want to be very strategic what you do at racing, so I could pass him, but it'll kind of ruin our draft thing going on. I'll just give him like a quick tap on the back just to push him a little forward. But yeah, like I could pass him, but then the draft disappears. You might want to wait until like 2 to go and then pass the guy that's in front of you, you know, then make your move.
Mash, what you want to do is you want to shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.
No, we're not doing no shaking and baking. I'm seeing that these guys are a lot. They got their draft a little bit better sorted, so I'm gonna follow the 9 now and hopefully get away from that green car. And now I'm 4th, so I'm just gonna hold my line, nice and easy. Again, you don't want to make your move too early, so there's still time for me to get 4th if we can stay lined up like this.
So those little love taps you give them,
Yeah.
do you get like a small penalty
This,
for that?
no. There's kind of, think of it like a gradient. Slight contact in iRacing doesn't give you a penalty. It's like the major contact that gives you a penalty.
All right.
So much trust you have to put into the person that's to the side of you to not like go high and hit you. Driving like this is literally all the buddy system. Is all, God, I hope that they know what they're doing. If you take a look at the little black box that features all of the info about the race, I'm currently in 3rd, and I have 5 incidents. So we had 1 major accident, which gave me 4 X's, which is a lot. Try to get away from that. Okay, we're clear. And again, with the draft, I'll be able to come back, so that's not even an issue. Like, I'll pull back forward towards them, so it's no problem. But yeah, I have 4 incidents from that, and I tried to avoid another wreck, which gave me 1 incident for going off the track. That's kind of something that pissed me off about this game lately, where I'm like, if I'm avoiding an accident, I shouldn't be getting an off-track penalty, because, you know, I'm only doing it to avoid the accident, to not make it worse. But I don't think the simulator knows how to kind of differentiate that. You know, like, that's why you're doing it.
That's legal to do in live NASCAR racing?
In actual, like, real racing, you don't have an incident system just like that works exactly like it does in iRacing. So you kind of have to think about it like it doesn't. That aspect of this doesn't apply one-to-one with the real-world counterpart. So yeah, not really. But again, it all kind of depends on the track. It depends on the specific circumstance. Sometimes that is an incident that they would give you a foul for. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, that's like a whole ass video we could get into debating how they officiate and stuff.
I was gonna say they better not give you any freaking penalties for trying to dodge a goddamn freaking explosive crash in front of you. Oh no, he went below the yellow line because he dodged a freaking exploding car. Holy shit! And you got tapped in the ass. All right, well, I gotta stop speaking because every time I talk about crashes, one happens.
Well, now I'm up to 9. 9 incidents. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be getting my 4.0 for this race. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work tonight or this weekend to fix that. But we're here for science. So who cares about
for
safety
science,
rating?
learning,
and tacos. Science, learning, and tacos. Shake and bake, baby. Let's go.
Okay, 2nd place. Okay, I'm not going to win. 4th place is about 4 seconds in front of me. So unless they wreck in the next 4 laps and I pass them, there's no way I can catch up in 4 seconds. So I basically secured 2nd place for the most part. You know, I don't want to count all my eggs before they hatch just yet. But yeah. And constant adjustments. I'm actually really mad about that last one. I feel like getting rear-ended shouldn't be like on you. I feel like you should, if anything, you should only get 1 incident for that. But again, the system of iRacing is not perfect. It doesn't have like a good way to differentiate between some of these things, you know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure a programmer can figure that out. Like, you know, if an incident happens in the front of your car and the back of another person's car, like, they should be able to differentiate, oh, okay, that was you. But if something happens, you know, in the back of your car, like, why the heck would they give you anything? I mean, unless you purposefully hit the brake real hard and then you get the incident problem. Shake and bake, baby! He's passing him!
It doesn't matter, it's a lapped car. But it's still fun. Basically, I just used this draft to get like as close as I could as possible, and then I moved to the side. I'm probably going to lose a little bit because he has the draft off the 14 and I have nobody to draft with. Yeah, what ends up happening is that if you kind of go out by yourself, you end up getting pushed back a lot. But now this guy's going really slow, so I'm going to try to pass him as well in the turn. We'll see. Oh, a little too much adjustment. I think I'm fucking around too much.
Dude, your hand's shaking quite a bit. Careful with that green car.
Yeah. He wasn't supposed to come in like that. He definitely wasn't supposed to come in like that.
I got scared. I'm like, oh god, no.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm about to get touched. Yep. Okay. This is the opposite side of when you guys saw me bumping someone from the back. That's how it should be done. Slight tap, it pushes the car forward, and then that car can then come back to you and push you again forward. That's kind of how bump drafting works. But yeah, some people just don't really know how to do it very properly. So 6 seconds behind the first place car. They're probably in that front pack that was like you saw just a second ago. So I'm not going to catch up to them, but I'll take a second place. I think a second place live on the spot with my friends commentating, and for this YouTube video, not a bad thing. Not a bad outcome.
And we have Ash coming up on the last lap of the race.
White flag is out.
White flag is out. He's coming in. He's got 2 cars lapped behind him. And the first place car is about 8.5 seconds ahead of him.
7.5.
7.5. I've been corrected. There's a wreck happening behind him, I suppose.
Trioval is the middle. Okay, cool. And that's it. That's the race. I'm going to just try to stay away from everyone because for some reason in this game, even if you hit someone after the race, it still takes your safety rating away. We couldn't seal the deal and get the win, but second's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Look at my back bumper. It's like pushed in.
Smoking Joe got pushed in, man.
Shoutouts to Joe. Joe King, of course. That was a custom paint scheme I made for him. But yeah, that was pretty much it. There you could see I made it in second place. Started 5th, ended up 2nd. I'll definitely get a lot of I rating for this, which is like your kind of driver experience, but I'll take a hit with safety rating, so yeah.
Started from the bottom. Now we're lower.
Yeah. Much lower. But we want to thank you guys for checking out this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Once again, this was iRacing, a full race in the Draftmaster series. Of course, we're going to cut it down a little bit. We want to thank our friend FocalFrank for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. I've learned so much about this this racing business. It's very complex. So many things to pay attention to keep track of while you're racing, while you're controlling your own car, while you're paying attention to other people's car around you. It's a pretty crazy sport. It's very interesting to watch.
Oh yeah.
I would love to try this, obviously. I would really love some rally racing. I don't think... Does iRacing have rally racing?
iRacing has, like, Dirt Rally Cross and Rally X or something. It's got, like, more, like, dirt trucks, stuff like that. It doesn't have... If you're thinking of the rally racing where one car goes at a time and it's, like, in the wild and they have a navigator, they don't have that, but there are other racing simulators that can give you that experience, like Dirt.
Gran Turismo.
Or Gran Turismo, yeah. But, yeah, that was pretty much it. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll check you guys out in the next video. Please make sure to check it out. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.